All right, and hello and good evening, and welcome to another live stream on my page here. My name is John, Sports Bonanza John, here on YouTube, on Kick tonight as well, Sports Kick John. I do also have some content on Twitch, Sport Guru John, not on there tonight, but I do have content on there. If you like my material here, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. It would really mean a lot and go a long way for me, and I appreciate it. Texas A&M and Notre Dame tonight, one of the featured games in college football on this Saturday night. Aggies and Irish. Aggies come in 2-0. Irish come in 0-1. They had an off week last week. As we get ready for this one, before I begin any live stream on this page, I do start off with a prayer. Let's do that right now. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Please look over us all. Please keep the players safe, Lord, and please look over everyone involved in this game and everyone across this country, Lord. We need you right now, and please look over us all and keep everyone safe and look over us all. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen. Texas A&M and Notre Dame. These two teams met a year ago in College Station. Texas A&M took a 23-13. Notre Dame took a 23-13 victory over Texas A&M. This is the rematch game this year, this time in South Bend. Texas A&M 2-0 with wins over UTSA and Utah State to begin the season. Notre Dame 0-1. They fell at Miami in their season opener. They were idle last week, not wanting to start the season 0-2. But that's what they're facing against if they lose this game tonight to Texas A&M. We just had a top 15 matchup in college football go final. It went overtime in Knoxville, and Georgia, with a touchdown in overtime, defeated the Tennessee Volunteers 44-41. So this game, probably the featured game on the night session in college football. We do also have Florida and LSU down in Baton Rouge taking place as well. There has been weather going across Indiana all of today, but it looks like we're set to go up in South Bend tonight. We've had a lot of weather issues across the country today. Hopefully we don't see any of that in this one, but it looks good to go, and a packed house at Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend. Let's quickly run down the college scoreboard before this game gets underway. Number 1, Ohio State in action against their state rivals, Ohio. And in the second quarter, Ohio State only leading 3-0 right now. Ohio holding their own right now in that game. Number 2, Penn State easily over Villanova, 52-6. These are finals from earlier today. Number 4, Oregon, 34-14 win over Northwestern. As I mentioned, just went final in Knoxville. Number 6, Georgia knocked off number 15, Tennessee in overtime, 44-41. Number 7, Texas got a battle all day from UTEP, then pulled away late in the third quarter and won that game 27-10. Number 12, Clemson falls to Georgia Tech, 24-21. Georgia Tech, a 55-yard field goal at the gun in that one to upset Clemson. Number 13, Oklahoma, no problems with Temple, 42-3. Number 14, Iowa State got a battle from Arkansas State all day. Iowa State able to pull that game out, 24-16. Number 19, Alabama handled Wisconsin 38-14. Number 23, Michigan hung 63 on Central Michigan today and winning 63-3. Number 24, Auburn 31-15 over South Alabama. Number 25, Missouri 52-10 over Louisiana. In progress, number 5, Miami leading number 18, South Florida 28-6. That game late in the second quarter. They've had weather issues down there in Miami. Number 9, Illinois, 3-0 lead over Western Michigan. Number 17, Ole Miss, a 7-0 lead over Arkansas. They're about to kick off between Florida and number 3, LSU. Number 21, Texas Tech, 28-0 over Oregon State. Had weather issues in Lubbock down there as well. I think it's called the Backyard Brawl or something like that. Pittsburgh and West Virginia. West Virginia 31-24 over Pittsburgh. That game is in overtime. And actually, that game has now just gone final. West Virginia has defeated Pittsburgh 31-24 in that one. Weather issues in the Big Ten between USC and Purdue all day. They're finally underway. USC leads that game 10-3 midway through the second quarter. We are just about set to kick off in South Bend, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Texas A&M is going to receive the football first, looking to avenge last year's home loss to Notre Dame. The fans are rocking in South Bend tonight for this top 20 matchup, and we are underway in South Bend. And this will be a touchback, and Texas A&M will start at the 25-yard line. So here comes Texas A&M, led by their quarterback, Marcel Reed. 6'1" sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee. 8 total touchdowns so far in the season for Reed. Has not turned it over yet. It's a first down. From the 25-yard line, opening series of the football game. And this is a handoff on first down and a good carry on first down for 11 yards and a Texas A&M first down. Le'Veon Moss got the carry right there for the Aggies in a first down. Flag on the play here. And out of bounds at the 37-yard line went Marcel Reed, but we'll check the flag. Kyle Olson, referee and the officiating crew out of the SEC tonight. This is going to be an offensive hold on Texas A&M. Move it back 10 yards. Demetrius Crownover guilty of the hold there for Texas A&M, so it'll be first down and 20. For the Aggies from the 25. Reed fakes the handoff. Reed going deep down the field, and it is caught. And now not caught. Incomplete. It was caught momentarily, but unable to be held on. Intended receiver was Casey Concepcion. He had it originally, but unable to preserve the catch going down to the ground after he got hit by the Notre Dame defender. Which was, I believe, I don't know who that was defensively for Notre Dame that got him. Jalen Stroman might have been the one to deliver that hit. Second down and 20. Reed looking to throw again. Reed again goes down the field. That's too high and incomplete. And it'll be third down and 20. So Reed has missed on his first 2 pass attempts. Concepcion, the intended receiver again. Third down and 20 for Texas A&M. Opening possession of the game. Football at the 25-yard line. Reed out of the shotgun. Reed takes the snap. Reed looking. It's a short pass, and that's not going to be anywhere near a first down. It's going to go for about 12, but the Aggies needed 20, and it'll be a fourth down in a punting situation. Mario Craver, the receiver of that pass, and Notre Dame forces a punt for Texas A&M on the first drive. And the holding penalty proves very costly for the Aggies. That was Le'Veon Moss with the I'm sorry, no, it was Mario Craver The reception. And that's Notre Dame's going to block this punt and return it for 6. An early special teams disaster for the Aggies, and Notre Dame runs it back for 6 points, and the Irish are on the board 6-0. How about that for a start for the Notre Dame special team? I was looking at the stats from the previous play. I didn't see who that was that got that for Notre Dame. But there's an early spark for the Irish, not even 2 minutes into the game. Try to see who that was that got that for Notre Dame. Extra point kick up and good, and it is 7-0 Irish. With a play on the special teams. There's number 10. That is it Logan Thomas maybe that got that? A block punt and a return for 6. And the Irish lead 7-0 out of the gate, not even 2 minutes into this football game. A spark that Notre Dame could use early on in this game. So now the Aggies will have to regroup after the special teams miscue. And that was Tay Johnson that recovered the block punt and returned it for the touchdown. So 7-0 Irish. And here's the kickoff. And that kickoff goes out of bounds prior to going into the end zone. So that's a special teams miscue at the other end for Notre Dame. And that will allow the Aggies to get the football at the 35-yard line. I do want to point out something for any new viewers on the live stream. If you're a regular viewer on my live stream, you do know this. But my TV provider, YouTube TV, there is going to be a delay from the live action as to the action I give you. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do, but if you do notice a delay, I am aware there is a delay there. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do with that, so I just like to point that out for if any new viewers are joining in my live stream for the first time. And Texas A&M is going to false start here and cost themselves 5 yards. Who that was that jumped for Texas A&M. Looked like Crownover. 1st and 15. Pass is going to be incomplete. Reed took a pretty good hit there when he was releasing that football, and it's 2nd down and 15. That was Boubacar Traore that delivered the hit on Reed on that 1st down pass. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Aggies from the 30. Notre Dame's bringing the blitz again. Reed in trouble, rolling to his right, throws out of bounds, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 15. Notre Dame is bringing the pressure to Reed, and he has not had an answer to this point. Third and 15. Aggies football at the 30. Just over 2 minutes in this one. Reed takes the snap. Reed looks. Reed will now run it himself, and Reed will get tackled at the 34-yard line. A gain of 4, and the Aggies 3 and out on their second drive. So Tyler White on to try to punt this again. White gets it off this time. Taken at the 28 and a fair catch made at the 28-yard line. Seven nothing Notre Dame. They will go on offense for the first time with 12:13 to play in the opening quarter. And we will see the Notre Dame offense for the first time following the change of possession timeout. Yeah, we'll update my live stream schedule for you. Tomorrow, I'll be back with you on a live stream tomorrow night for Sunday Night Football, Vikings and Falcons. Vikings home opener tomorrow. Getting the win in Chicago last week over the Bears. Falcons falling just short at home to Tampa Bay last week. And we'll also be with you Monday night for the Monday night game between the Buccaneers and the Texans. Probably not going to be able to do both Monday night games. Second Monday night game, Chargers-Raiders, doesn't get underway till 10:15 my time here, and probably not going to be able to make it on that one. But we'll do the Buccaneers-Texans Monday night game on the live stream as well. And then depending on my work schedule, could be doing a live stream on Tuesday night. That would be a Major League Baseball live stream, the Padres and the Mets. Major League Baseball getting into the home stretch of the regular season as playoffs are just a little bit about, 3 weeks away, I suppose. Away from the playoffs in Major League Baseball. So that is the upcoming live stream schedule on my page here. A couple score updates. Ohio State's added a field goal. They now lead Ohio University 6-0. About 6 minutes to go, second quarter there. Illinois has gotten in the end zone. They lead Western Michigan 10-0. Number 17, Ole Miss, 14-7 lead over Arkansas, just underway in the second quarter there. And Florida's gotten a field goal on their opening drive at LSU. Florida leads that game 3-0. Vanderbilt and number 11, South Carolina, just underway. Halftime in Miami. Miami leading South Florida 28-6. So here we're going to see the Notre Dame offense for the first time. They lead 7-0 thanks to that block punt. And quarterback C.J. Carr leading out the Notre Dame offense. Freshman out of Saline, Michigan. 19 of 30 in his first start last week against Miami. Threw 2 touchdowns in that game and 1 interception. This is a handoff. This is going to be a first down run for Notre Dame. And that first down carry by Jeremiah Love gets the Irish a first down. 13-yard pickup. To the 41-yard line. Carr to throw for the first time. Right side pass is... They call it a catch. They do not. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Nice diving attempt there on the sideline by Jordan Faison, but couldn't quite corral it. 2nd down and 10. Out of the gun this time is C.J. Carr. Carr, this is another handoff. And this is going to be good for 9 more on second down for Jeremiah Love. It'll be third down for the Irish. Third down, Notre Dame needs 1. And before this 3rd and 1 play, we have a timeout called by Texas A&M with 11:04 to play in this first quarter. Notre Dame leading 7-0 on the block, punt, and return score on the first Texas A&M possession. So on 3rd down and 1, when play resumes, we will see what Notre Dame does. A couple other score updates. USC leading Purdue 17-3. That game late in the second quarter. That game delayed by over 3 hours due to weather. Still to come yet tonight. Just about to kick off in Laramie. Number 20, Utah and Wyoming. The only other ranked team that is yet to get going tonight is that one. So here it's 7-0 Notre Dame. They will have a 3rd down and 1 at midfield when play resumes out of the timeout. CJ Carr goes shotgun here on 3rd and 1. Carr takes the snap, gives it off to Love, and Jeremiah Love's met in the backfield and dropped for a considerable loss on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Love loses 4, and it'll now be 4th down and 5. Great stand by the Texas A&M defense. That was Scooby Williams that marched right through the Notre Dame offensive line and was able to get to Love and get him for a loss in the backfield. So now Notre Dame will have to punt this football. And here's the punt. Concepcion calls for a fair catch at the 11-yard line, and that's where Texas A&M will start this next drive as they will be backed up at their own 11. 10:56 remaining in this opening quarter in South Bend on a top 20 matchup on a Saturday night. Notre Dame next week will stay home and host Purdue. Texas A&M is idle next week. First down Aggies at their own, they're going to mark it at the 10-yard line, and this is a carry on first down, and that's going to go for 4 yards. On this first down carry, Le'Veon Moss. Second down and 6 after the 4-yard gain. Second and 6, Aggies from their own 14. Reed has an open man at the 25-yard line. The pass is complete across the 35-40, across midfield and still going. And he is going to take it to the house. 86 yards for an Aggie touchdown. Mario Craver with the reception and 86-yard run for an Aggie touchdown. And they are an extra point away from tying this game. There were about 3 or 4 missed tackles in there by Notre Dame. Craver was wide open. There was about 4 missed tackles. And Craver took advantage of the missed tackles and took it to the house, 86 yards. Extra point is up and good, and this game is tied at 7 with 9:33 to play in this opening quarter. Marcel Reed hook up to Mario Craver for 86 yards. That was a 2-play, 90-yard drive for Texas A&M to pull even. Well, there's an answer after the special teams touchdown that Notre Dame put on A&M. So Texas A&M has tied this football game at 7 with 9:33 to play in the first quarter. Vanderbilt has taken the early lead at South Carolina 7-0. So great answer for Texas A&M as they have now tied this game at 7. And Notre Dame will get the football back with 9:33 to go in this opening quarter. Texas A&M, 86 of them on that last pass play, but they already have 117 yards of offense in this first quarter. And good to see Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed got banged up for Texas A&M in their win last week over Utah State, but to see it back in form this week, if that passes any indication. He started 1 for his first 5 passing today, but then just found Craver for that 86-yard touchdown strike. And it is 7-7 in South Bend, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Mentioned Notre Dame stays at home next week to take on Purdue. Purdue in action against USC tonight and trailing 17-3. That game almost at halftime. A&M starts their SEC schedule in 2 weeks. They will take on Auburn. They are idle next week. So a 7-7 football game as Texas A&M's getting ready to kick this off to Notre Dame following the long touchdown strike. So we possibly may be in for a shootout in this game. We will see. Boy, if you're Notre Dame, they're just showing the replay on that last touchdown. If you're Notre Dame, you've got to make those tackles. There are 4 missed tackles there for Notre Dame on that long run for Craver. Here's the kickoff. And this will be a touchback, and Notre Dame will get it at the 25-yard line for their second possession of the game. So back comes C.J. Carr and the Notre Dame offense, trying to answer that last Texas A&M score. As they will have it at the 25-yard line, first down at the 9:33 mark of this first quarter in a 7-7 game. Carr out of the shotgun, takes the snap, and gives it off once again to Jeremiah Love. Love across the 30 up to the 31-yard line, so a good 6-yard pickup on first down for Jeremiah Love will bring up second down and 4. 2nd down and 4. Irish at their own 31. Love going to the sideline for a breather on this play. Carr takes the snap. Carr looking. Carr's pass is complete. That's going to be a 1st down for the Irish. Reception made for Notre Dame by Jordan Faison, and that will be an Irish 1st down. Up to the 37-yard line. 1st down, Irish. Carr takes the snap. Carr drops back. Carr looks, throws behind his receiver, incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Again, was intended for Faison. It'll be 2nd and 10, Notre Dame. Love returns in for this play for Notre Dame, as they have a 2nd and 10 at their own 37. Carr out of the gun once again, takes the snap. And it's a little toss to Love. Jeremiah Love nowhere to go and gets ran out of bounds. And it'll be 3rd and long coming up for the Irish. There is a flag that came in here. We'll see what this is. And it's a play after a hit, a late hit out of bounds, as Love was well out of bounds. And he got thrown to the bench. Boy, that's a penalty you cannot have if you're Texas A&M. Des Ricks, the guilty party for the Aggies. There were a little bit of, I don't want to say fisticuffs, but a little words being exchanged before this game between these two teams. And it looks like the emotions have boiled over a little bit into the game itself. So Texas A&M has Notre Dame first, end around, back to Carr, who's going to throw downfield, an open receiver. A little trickery, and down at the 1-yard line as Notre Dame went with some trickery, and the pass downfield, and a big gain for Notre Dame. Eli Raridan, the tight end, on the reception. It looked like a reverse, then it looked like an end around, and then the ball went back to Carr, and he found Raridan downfield, and it's 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Actually, I got to spot him at the 5. They say he hit out of bounds at the 5, so 1st and goal. This is a direct snap to Love, and Love is hit behind the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard loss. And 2nd and goal from the 7. Second and goal, Notre Dame. Football back at the 7-yard line. Texas A&M was waiting for that play. 2nd and goal, football at the 7. Carr takes the snap. And another handoff, and then to the end zone for a Notre Dame touchdown. It wasn't Love this time. It was Jadarian Price with the handoff and the 7-yard touchdown run, and the Irish back in front with the extra point to come. Boy, Price had a hole. And once he saw that hole, it was easy sailing pretty much to the end zone. Extra point attempt coming. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Irish retake the lead 14-7 with 6:30 to play in this first quarter. The trick play 2 plays prior that set up the touchdown for Price, a 7-yard run and a 14-7 lead for the Irish. And a great answer for Notre Dame after that long touchdown strike for Texas A&M on the prior possession. And we've got ourselves a 14-7 football game with 6.5 left in this opening quarter of play. Couple updates from those other games. Number 1, Ohio State has punched it in the end zone for the first time. They now lead Ohio 13-0, 2:16 to play, quarter number 2. Number 17, Ole Miss has retaken the lead over Arkansas, 21-14. 8 minutes to go, second quarter there. Florida still leads LSU 3-0, 5:12 to go in the opening quarter in that one. South Carolina, an answered touchdown for Vanderbilt. That game's 7-7. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Utah's taking an early 3-0 lead at Wyoming. And Duke and Tulane. Tulane leads Duke 7-0. That Tulane team going to be a serious threat to be that group of 5 team that makes the college football playoff this year. That is a very, very good Tulane Green Wave team. Other scores, number 21, Texas Tech, 28-0 over Oregon State. Miami, number 5, Miami still leading number 18, South Florida, 28-6 in the third. And USC leading Purdue at the half, 17-3. Number 9, Illinois, 10-0 over Western Michigan. Those are some updated scores around the country on this Saturday evening. Of course, this one, Texas A&M and Notre Dame, probably the featured game of the night outside of Florida LSU. And so far, Notre Dame leads at 14-7 with 6:30 to play in this first quarter as we get set for the kickoff. Following the Notre Dame touchdown, the drive that took 7 plays, 75 yards, 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Jadarian Price, 7-yard touchdown run to close it off, or close it out, for a Notre Dame 7-point lead. As we are set for the kickoff, this is the one issue with college football. There is way, way too big of a break in between. Way too big of a break in between sequences. But here we go. I think we're finally set for the kickoff. 14-7, and Texas A&M will back receiving the football. And boy, Texas A&M's head coach just absolutely laid into his team on the sideline during that last time out. Mike Elko, the head coach of the Aggies. There's a chair that has unfortunately seen its last leg after the Mike Elko rant on the Texas A&M sideline. So there's one less chair available now as we're about to get the kickoff. Taken at the goal line, across the 5 to the 10-yard line, 15, and dropped short of the 20-yard line on the return. I believe that was Concepcion on the return for Texas A&M. They will start inside the 20-yard line on this next drive. So first down, Aggies. Football, they mark just shy of the 20. Reed out of the gun on this first down play. And it's a handoff that's going absolutely nowhere on first down. Loss on the play. As that was Reuben Owens II getting the carry for Texas A&M on that first down play. Loss of about 1.5 yards. On second down, Reed throwing downfield, and that pass is picked off. Interception by Notre Dame. Leonard Moore with the pick. The sophomore out of Round Rock, Texas, and Notre Dame is going to get the football right back on the interception thrown by Marcel Reed. So we've had a block punt return for a touchdown and now an interception for Texas A&M, and Notre Dame's going to get this football in outstanding field position after the pick, as it's at the 42-yard line of Texas A&M. Carr and the Notre Dame offense right back to work with 5:49 to go in the opening quarter. Carr takes the shotgun snap, and the handoff on first down goes absolutely nowhere. Texas A&M snuffed that one out, and no gain on first down, as that was Jadarian Price with the carry. Second down for the Irish. Marcel Reed over on the Texas A&M sideline talking to one of his coaches, trying to figure out what went wrong on that last play. Here's a second down carry. This is Price again, and Price will get a couple of yards this time, but it'll be third down and long for Notre Dame. Third down, 9. As we've ticked under 5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Football for Notre Dame at the Texas A&M 41. Carr takes the snap. Carr gives it to Price. Price will get the carry. First down, right side, 30, 20 out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. And on third down and 9, Jadarius Price goes for 26. Well, there was nobody on the Texas A&M defense playing that right side, and Price saw the hole outside and took it. They mark him out at the 17, so first down at the 17-yard line. And this is Carr that's going to keep it. This time slips and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Carr was changing directions a little bit, and his foot kind of slipped out from under him, and it threw off his timing, and it ends up no gain, second down and 10. Second down and 10 for the Irish. Ball at the Aggie 17. Price in the backfield again with Carr. Play clock down to 1. They just get that off, and it's a handoff to Price. And Price is down to the 14-yard line, and it'll bring up third down and about 7 for Notre Dame as we've hit 3 minutes and counting to play in this first quarter. Jeremiah Love returning on this third down play. Third down, 7. Football at the Aggies 14. Notre Dame trying to take advantage of this Texas A&M turnover. Aggies showing blitz this time. And Carr has to take a timeout. Again, the play clock was getting down there, and Carr takes a timeout just before the play clock ran out. So Notre Dame uses their first timeout of the first half. And with 2:27 to play in this first quarter, it'll be third down and 7 for the Irish. Following the timeout. They've gotten a little Unaware of the play clock the last couple plays. They had to call a timeout here. It almost ran out on the play prior. A Saturday night in South Bend. Weather has cleared the area. The weather ran through earlier today, but it's out of the area tonight. Third down, 7. Notre Dame football at the A&M 14. Carr takes the snap. Carr looks. Carr throws. The pass is... They're giving it a catch, but it's going to be a yard shy of the first down at the 8-yard line. Who that was that made the catch? Malachi Fields on the reception for Notre Dame. 4th and 1 from the 8, and Notre Dame keeping the offense out. Another direct snap to Love, and Love will get the first down inside the 5. On 4th and 1, Love gets 4, and the chains move for Notre Dame. Love was the only one back there to receive that snap. So it was going to be a run to him all the way. 1st and goal, football at the 4 for Notre Dame. This is a handoff to Love, and Love will get to the 2. 2nd and goal coming up. Down to the final minute of this first quarter. Second and goal, Notre Dame at the 2-yard line of Texas A&M. Trying to punch it in the end zone for the 3rd time in this first quarter. Carr takes the snap, and again the handoff to Love, and Love will get stuffed. Just able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and goal. As a Notre Dame player's helmet came off, which looks like Love. 3rd and goal coming up for Notre Dame at the 2. So Love will have to come off for a play since his helmet came off. Play clock and game clock are identical. Notre Dame won't have to snap it in the quarter if they don't want to, but they're lining up like they're going to. 10 seconds left. This might just be an attempt to see if they can get a free couple yards here. Try and draw Texas A&M off sides. Texas A&M's not biting, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. In South Bend, a first quarter that saw a block punt return for a touchdown, an 86-yard touchdown pass, and some trickery to set up Notre Dame on their second touchdown. That all leads to a 14-7 lead for the Irish after one quarter in South Bend. Taking a look at the stats through the first quarter. Total yardage, Texas A&M 116. 86 of those came on that one touchdown pass. 116 for Texas A&M, 115 for Notre Dame. Aggies were penalized 3 times in that first quarter for 30 yards. Notre Dame not penalized at all in that quarter. The one interception, the one turnover for Texas A&M in the quarter. Time of possession, Notre Dame had the ball for 10 minutes, 45 seconds in that first quarter. A&M possessed it just 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Marcel Reed passing the football 2 for 7. 1 touchdown and 1 interception. And Craver, the recipient of that touchdown reception, an 86-yarder. Meanwhile, C.J. Carr, 4 for 6, passing the football for Notre Dame for 55 yards in that first quarter. Irish rushed for 60 in that first quarter. Price, the leading rusher, 5 carries, 35 yards, and has the rushing touchdown for Notre Dame in that quarter. And Jeremiah Love, 8 rushes, 25 yards. Texas A&M only able to get 18 yards on the ground in that first quarter, 14 of those for Le'Veon Moss. And C.J. Carr, 4 for 6 passing for Notre Dame. That's to 4 different receivers. And that all adds up to a 14-7 Notre Dame lead over Texas A&M after one quarter. A&M will have a 3rd and goal at the Texas A&M 2 when play resumes here in the second quarter. They've got a couple score updates for you. Ohio driving on Ohio State right before the half. It's 13-0, but the Bobcats are down to the Buckeyes' 26-yard line with 28 seconds left to play in the first half. A shootout between Arkansas and Ole Miss. Ole Miss leads 27-21. Still 3 minutes to go before the half in that one. LSU is tied up Florida 3-3. Late first quarter in that one. Vanderbilt, South Carolina still tied 7-7. But back to this one as we get set to resume following the quarter break. It'll be 3rd and goal, Notre Dame. From the 2-yard line of Texas A&M. We've seen a lot from Love here in these short yardage situations. They've direct snapped to him twice in that first quarter. And let's see what the Irish go with here on 3rd and goal. Texas A&M wanting to get that goal line stop. I said from the 2-yard line. That's my mistake. It's the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal. Carr out of the gun. First play, second quarter. Carr takes the snap. Carr looking. Carr throws. Incomplete. Knocked away by the Aggies. Let's see. Will Lee the third, I believe. Got his arm in there to knock that ball away at the last possible second. So now 4th down and goal from the 4. What will Notre Dame do? Again, to leave the offense out? Nope, they're bringing on the field goal kicker. Noah Burnett will try a field goal from 22 yards to extend the Notre Dame lead to 10. Snap is good, and the kick is also right through the uprights. So 3 more for Notre Dame. Adds to their lead. It is now 17-7 Irish, 14:54 remaining quarter number 2. So not what Notre Dame was hoping for, but they do get points out of it to build their lead to 10. Drive for the Irish, 11 plays, 38 yards, 5 minutes, 55 seconds. And Noah Burnett, 22-yard field goal that extends the Notre Dame lead to 10 over Texas A&M. Again, want to say again on my live stream, I'm going to be back on with a live stream tomorrow night, the Sunday night NFL game between the Falcons and the Vikings. Be on with you for that one, and we'll be back with you Monday night for the first Monday night game anyway of the night, Buccaneers and the Texans. And then Tuesday, this is pending upon I do have a full-time job still, and my work schedule is a little up in the air on Tuesday. So possibly, if the work schedule cooperates, I'll be on Tuesday for a live stream. That would be a Major League Baseball live stream. Padres and the Mets. I believe it's the Padres and the Mets. Yeah, Padres and the Mets. So if the chance arises, I will be on for that live stream on Tuesday, but for sure going to be with you the next 2 nights. And then possibly have, probably if I can't do the Tuesday baseball live stream, I will definitely be on Wednesday and Thursday for a couple baseball live streams. Going to be live streaming the Cubs and Reds on Thursday night. And we'll be back next Saturday for a couple more college football live streams. I always do one FCS and one FBS game on my live stream every Saturday. Don't know what those games are going to be yet, but I will know as the week goes on. Probably know by the time I go on for the Monday night live stream. I'll be able to announce what my 2 live stream games, college games, are going to be on Saturday. So a lot of live streams coming up on this page on my live stream channel as we get set to resume here with now a 10-point lead for Notre Dame just underway here in the second quarter. Notre Dame set to kick this football back off to Texas A&M. So here comes the kickoff. And in and through the end zone for a touchback, and the Aggies will get this next drive started at their own 25. Marcel Reed come back out. Just 2 for 7 passing the football so far. Does have that 86-yard touchdown strike to Mario Craver for the lone Texas A&M score of the game so far. First down Aggies at their own 25. Now in a 10-point hole. Reed the give on first down, and that's going to go nowhere. Maybe a yard, and that's it. Carry for Le'Veon Moss, and it'll be second down for the Aggies. Aggies have not beat a top 10 opponent on the road since 2014. They're looking to end that streak here tonight. Second down and 9. They do give Moss a yard on that last play. Reed looking, throws to an open receiver, pass caught, first down Aggies across the 35 up to the 38-yard line. And that will move the chains for Texas A&M. Reception made by Craver. That's his 3rd catch of the first half. Ball is at the Notre Dame 38-yard line. There's an Irish player shaken up here. Like Leonard Moore, sophomore cornerback out of Round Rock, Texas, the injured Irish player. Hobbling off the field, but is able to get to the sideline. Hopefully that's just nothing more than a cramp, which is easy for me to say. Those hurt enough as it is. Notre Dame showing blitz here on first down. Reed throws down the field. Brass is caught. The pass was high, but it was caught. And that will be another Aggies first down on a gain of 14. Catch made by Casey Concepcion, his first catch of the game. First down, Texas A&M into Notre Dame territory at the Notre Dame 46. Reed takes the snap. Reed going deep down the field, has a man down there, and it's caught. Concepcion with his second consecutive reception down at the 1 yard line. First and goal, Aggies. "45 yards on the pass from Reed to Concepcion. And the Aggies first and goal at the 1 yard line. And the Aggies a yard away from getting right back in this game. First and goal from the 1. This is a handoff and into the end zone for a touchdown. Goes Le'Veon Moss, and the Aggies get back in it. And it's now a 4-point game with the extra point pending. Well, it looked like Notre Dame was going to have Moss stopped for about a 1 yard gain, but bounced right off the wall of tacklers, and into the end zone he went. It's a 4-point game with the extra point pending to try to make it 3. The extra point is up and the kick is good, and we do have a 3-point game. 17-14, Notre Dame over Texas A&M. The big play, the 45-yard reception to Casey Concepcion, and then the 1-yard touchdown run for Le'Veon Moss to make this a 3-point game. 17-14, Notre Dame over Texas A&M. 12:23 remaining quarter number 2. So a good answer there for Texas A&M. There's a 5-play, 75-yard drive that took 2 minutes, 31 seconds and finished off by the 1-yard touchdown run for Le'Veon Moss. And we've got ourselves a 3-point game. Ohio did salvage a field goal on that last drive against Ohio State, so that is a 10-point lead for Ohio State at the half, 13-3. Continue the shootout between Arkansas and Ole Miss, 28-27. Ole Miss leads that game. Just over a minute to go first half. Still 3-3, Florida LSU. 5 minutes into the second quarter. Vanderbilt, South Carolina, still 7-7. They're underway in the second quarter. USC starting to pull away a little bit from Purdue. That is 20-3. Just underway in the third quarter in that one. Might be a surprising score. A halftime score, Old Dominion leads at Virginia Tech 28-0. So Virginia Tech, I know they're not a strong ACC team, but that's an Old Dominion team. That is not a bad Old Dominion team. They are one of the better group of 5 teams out there, and they are taking it to Virginia Tech in Blacksburg at halftime. Illinois leading Western Michigan 10-0, that game at the half. And number 21, Texas Tech, 38-0 over Oregon State in the third. Miami still leading South Florida 28-6, but South Florida is driving. They're inside the Miami 10-yard line, trying to get in the end zone for the first time. And here it's 17-14, Notre Dame leading Texas A&M with 12:23 to go in quarter number 2 in South Bend. So we are just about to get the kickoff following the Texas A&M score. Run up and the kick. And this will be a touchback, and Notre Dame will get it from the 25-yard line to start this next drive. C.J. Carr leading the Notre Dame offense back out. Carr 4 for 7 so far for 55 yards. Irish have a 1st and 10 at their own 25. Carr takes the snap. Carr throws downfield, overshoots everybody, incomplete. Intended receiver that time for Notre Dame was Malachi Fields, but that pass sailed and ended up way out of bounds, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10, Irish at their own 25. Carr looking, this is a screen pass to Love. Love hurdles a couple tacklers and is run out of bounds at the 34-yard line. He's going to be a yard shy of a 1st down. 3rd and a yard coming for Notre Dame. Third down, Notre Dame needs a yard. Notre Dame 1 for 4 currently on 3rd down conversions in this game. Here's Love getting the handoff. He gets a 1st down and more. 45-yard line and run out of bounds near midfield on 3rd and 1. Love good for 16 and an Irish 1st down. First down right at midfield for the Irish. Handoff again to Love, and Love will be stopped after a 2-yard pickup on 1st down, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Love up to 43 yards now on 10 carries. Love only rushed for 33 yards total in Notre Dame's loss at Miami a couple weeks ago. On 2nd and 8, Carr throws. It's complete. That's a 1st down inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Couple missed tackles there for the Aggies that time, and the reception for Jordan Faison is good for 12 and a Notre Dame 1st down. First down at the 36. Irish driving, trying to answer that last Aggies touchdown. Carr takes the snap. Carr looks, throws, open receiver, and the catch made by Love. Love, touchdown Irish. A one-handed reception by Love and takes it into the end zone for a Notre Dame touchdown. 36-yard touchdown strike from C.J. Carr to Jeremiah Love, and the Irish go back up by 9 with the extra point to come. Boy, that was a heck of a one-handed catch by Love. And untouched until he gets to the front of the end zone. Extra point attempt to come. And the kick is good. And it's back to a 10-point lead for Notre Dame, 24-14 over Texas A&M. 36 yards to Love from C.J. Carr. And we're back to a 10-point lead with 9:43 to play in the second quarter. That Notre Dame drive, 6 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. 36-yard touchdown pass from C.J. Carr to Jeremiah Love to extend the lead back to 10 points again at 24-14. Run down some finals from earlier today. The upset of the day so far. Down in Atlanta, number 12 Clemson falling 24-21 to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech with a 55-yard field goal at the gun to upset Clemson and drop Clemson to 1-2 on the season. Only upset of the day we have had to this point. We have a shocking score going on right now. It's at the half. Ohio State leading Ohio, but it's only 13-3. The Ohio Bobcats giving Ohio State all they can handle. Now, the Ohio Bobcats, they're 1-1 on the season. They beat West Virginia in Athens last week. And Ohio almost beat Rutgers the prior week in Piscataway. Probably should have won that game. So this is a very, very good Ohio Bobcats team. They won the MAC a year ago and look like they're going to be a threat in the MAC again. And they've been giving Power 4 opponents some problems this year. So we are just about set for the kickoff. Following the Notre Dame touchdown. On a raucous crowd on a Saturday night in South Bend. So Texas A&M will go on offense back in that 10-point hole again. Here's a kickoff. And it'll be another touchback, and the Aggies will get it at the 25-yard line. LSU has just taken the lead over Florida 10-3. So back comes Marcel Reed and the Aggies offense. Reed just 5 for 10 passing the football, but those 5 completions have netted 171 yards. And the 1 touchdown pass. That has thrown that pick as well. First down at the 25 for Texas A&M. And a handoff on first down. This is going next to nowhere on first down. Maybe a yard for Le'Veon Moss. It'll be second down for Texas A&M. Second and 9. Football sits at the 26. Reed takes the snap. Reed drops back. Reed throws. Pass complete. First down to Texas A&M across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. Gain of 11 yards. Mario Craver's 4th reception of the first half. This one goes for 11. A 121 yards on 4 receptions now tonight for Mario Craver. And this one moves the sticks. First down, Texas A&M. 5 on the play clock. Now a man in motion. Play clock down to 1. Now we've got flags. Looked like some miscommunication for the offense on Texas A&M on that one, and then it's a false start, and it'll cost them 5. Crownover with his second penalty of the first half. 1st and 15 now for Texas A&M. Back at the 32-yard line. Reed, the keeper, and Reed will get across the 35 up to the 39-yard line. So Reed picks up 7 on the quarterback keep on that one, brings up 2nd down and 8. Second down and 8. Football sits at the 39-yard line. Reed rolling right. Reed throws incomplete. Little too far in front of his intended receiver, Casey Concepcion, and it'll be 3rd down and 8. Third down, Aggies need 8. Football at the 39-yard line. And here comes the Notre Dame crowd. A&M has not converted a 3rd down on their previous 2 opportunities tonight. Reed throws downfield, pass caught. There's a 3rd down reception. Craver with the grab all the way down to the 41-yard line. 20 yards on 3rd down and 8. From Reed to Craver. That is now the 5th catch for Mario Craver, 141 yards. And that one comes on 3rd down and 8. Injured Notre Dame player on that play. Christian Gray, the banged up player for the Irish. We have an injury timeout, and Texas A&M trying to drive down the field and answer that last Notre Dame touchdown. Purdue has gotten in the end zone against USC, so that game is now 20-10. USC with 5:07 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Ohio Bobcats have just got a touchdown against Ohio State. And Ohio has made that a 1-score game in Columbus. Just underway in the 3rd quarter. So that is a bit of a shocking score at the Horseshoe in Columbus. Still 7-7, Vanderbilt and South Carolina. And they have finally reached the half between Arkansas and Ole Miss in an absolute shootout down there in Oxford. Ole Miss leading 31-28. Miami has added to their lead against South Florida. That's become a blowout down there in Miami, 35-6. Just underway in the 4th. So South Florida knocking off those 2 ranked teams to start off the season. It does not appear that they're going to make it 3 in a row. Ohio got the touchdown. They missed the extra point, so it's 13-9. Ohio State and Ohio just underway in the 3rd quarter in Columbus. Definitely keeping Eye on updates on that score. And I'm sorry. I know before the season, nobody thought that was really going to be that big of a game, Ohio and Ohio State. But it's a state rivalry game. Why are you putting that game on Peacock? I'm sorry. That's no. Christian Gray was the injured Irish player here, as he is back on the sideline, so that's a good sign. He was injured on that tackle attempt on Craver. Back to it now. First down, Aggies at the Irish 40-yard line. Clock running, 7 minutes to go, second quarter. Reed will keep it himself again. Reed will have first down yardage down to the 25-yard line. 15 more for Marcel Reed and an Aggies first down. That's 3 carries, 27 yards now for Reed, leading rusher now tonight as well for Texas A&M, as well as throwing for 203 yards in this first half. First down at the 26 officially is where they mark it. Reed fakes the handoff. Reed throws, open man, that's caught inside the 5-yard line. Different receiver this time, Ruben Owens II with his first reception of the night. He did have a rush earlier, but this is his first reception, and it's first and goal Aggies inside the Notre Dame 5. As we are down under 6 minutes and counting in the second quarter. Aggies looking to bring this back to a one-score game again. First and goal at the 2. Reed throws, knocked down, incomplete. Faked the handoff and then went to the air, and that pass knocked away. Who that was that knocked it away for Notre Dame? It was Leonard Moore. Called his name a couple times earlier. Second and goal. So Leonard Moore has had a whale of a first half defensively for Notre Dame. This is a handoff, and into the end zone for the touchdown goes Le'Veon Moss. And once again, it's a one-score game. Moss rushes in from 2 yards out. 24-20 with the extra point pending. 5:32 to play in the second quarter. Extra point to make it back to a 3-point game. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and we do indeed have ourselves a 3-point game again. 24-21. As Le'Veon Moss rushes it in from 2 yards out. Drive for Texas A&M, 9 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes, 11 seconds, and finished off with the 2-yard touchdown run for Le'Veon Moss. And we're back to a 3-point game. Notre Dame will get the football back here, and Notre Dame will get the football to start the second half as well. So we've got a shootout on our hands here. And the kickoff. And this will be another touchback, and the Irish will get it from the 25-yard line. And back comes C.J. Carr and the Irish offense. So Texas A&M's brought the game to one score the last couple times, but Notre Dame's had an answer each of the previous two times. Do they have an answer again? Bring it back to a two-score game. First down carries going nowhere. Nothing doing there on first down. Second down coming up for Notre Dame. Second and 10. 5 minutes and counting to play in the second quarter. Carr rolling right. Carr throws. Pass complete. First down, Notre Dame. First reception of the game for K.K. Smith. It's good for a Notre Dame first down. Irish move the sticks. First down. Third and 3. My mistake. At the 32-yard line. Now it's a first down reception. On 3rd and 3, that pass goes for 7 to Malachi Fields. Move the sticks and a Notre Dame first down. We've ticked under 4 minutes in counting here in the second quarter. Carr takes the snap. Carr gives it off too high and intercepted. The pass was too high and it was picked off. Scooby Williams with the interception for Texas A&M. That one sailed on C.J. Carr. He was trying to get it to Jadarian Price, but way overshot him. And Scooby Williams was right there for the Texas A&M interception. So now the Aggies get a turnover on their side. And will try and get at least a game-tying score right before the half. Aggies start at the Irish 47-yard line. This is Reed still looking. Reed throws downfield, open receiver inside the 20 and out of bounds. And just like that on one play, Texas A&M into the Notre Dame red zone. Mario Craver again with the reception. That is his 6th reception of the first half. And this one goes for 31 yards. First down at the 16. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining in this first half. Reed, this is a handoff and a gain of 7 more on first down for the Aggies. Inside the 10, Le'Veon Moss with the run this time. 2nd and 3, Texas A&M. Boy, Mario Craver, 6 catches, 173 yards in this first half. And Marcel Reed has thrown for 258. 2nd and 3. Football sits at the 9. Play clock down to 4. Man in motion. Reed gets that with 1 on the play clock. Here's a handoff. First down Aggies, and it is 1st and goal Texas A&M as Moss runs it down to the 4-yard line, and that's going to take this game down to the 2-minute timeout. Texas A&M 4 yards away from grabbing the lead here at the end of the first half. 2 minutes to go. 24-21 Notre Dame. But the Aggies are eyeing the lead right before the half. Ohio State has added a field goal, so that is now 16-9. Ohio State over Ohio, 11 minutes to go in the third. Illinois has padded the lead over Western Michigan. That's now 17-0. South Florida finally able to get in the end zone against Miami, but they still trail 35-12 in the fourth. Florida touchdown to tie up LSU. That is now 10-10. Minute and a half to go first half in that one. Vanderbilt's grabbed the lead at South Carolina 14-7. Minute and a half to go first half in that one. Wyoming giving Utah a battle. That's still only 3-0. 4.5 to go in the second quarter there. USC pushed the lead to 20 against Purdue. That's 30-10. 2 minutes to go in the third in that one. I'm going to keep an eye on the rest of this on this Ohio State score. Ohio came into that game a 4-touchdown underdog to Ohio State, and they are holding right with the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes into the third quarter. Boy, this is some impressive numbers for Marcel Reed. His completion percentage is not all that good here, 9 for 16, but he has thrown for 258 yards in this first half. 6 of those 9 receptions for Mario Craver. He has found Mario Craver 6 of the 9 times. Craver, 6 receptions, 173 yards. 314 yards of total offense in the first half for Texas A&M. Notre Dame sitting at 207 as C.J. Carr's passed for 129 in the first half. He has found 5 different receivers at his end. So it's 1st and goal, Texas A&M at the 4-yard line of Notre Dame, trying to finish this off and take the lead. Here's a handoff on first down and up to about the 2-yard line on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal Aggies. Carry that time for Reuben Owens the second. There is a flag that's come in, so we'll see what this is. It's a face mask against Notre Dame, so that's only going to be about a 2-yard penalty. But it will be a first down. Christian Gray guilty of the face mask. So instead of 1st and goal at the 4, it is now 1st and goal at the 2. Clock running, 100 seconds to go in the first half. Texas A&M wants to run this as far down as they can. That way, if they score, they won't leave Notre Dame as much time, although Notre Dame does still have 2 timeouts. And I think Texas A&M was trying to get a free 5 there, but Notre Dame didn't bite, and Texas A&M will use a timeout. Trying the hard count there, but Notre Dame didn't bite. And Texas A&M's down to 1 timeout. So Texas A&M, 1.5 yards away from taking the lead right before the end of the first half. Texas A&M looking to avenge last year's loss to Notre Dame, a game Notre Dame won down in College Station 23-13. It's 1st and goal, Aggies. A first down carry and not getting in on first down. Notre Dame defense, a good goal line stand there on first down. And now a timeout called by Marcus Freeman. It'll be his second one of the half, so both teams now down to 1. Notre Dame going to use their timeouts. That way, in case if Texas A&M does score, they want to leave themselves a little bit of time to try to march down the field and get some points of their own. That was Le'Veon Moss that was absolutely stuffed on that first down carry. And after that first down stop, Marcus Freeman immediately ran down to the side judge and called for timeout. The clock is stopped at 1:19 in the second quarter. 2nd and goal, Texas A&M. Football sitting right at the 1 yard line. And now a late substitution coming in for Texas A&M. Better be careful you don't get caught with 12 on the field. They've actually put 4 seconds back on the clock, so it's 1:23. Reed will take it, and he is popped at the 1 yard line. Reed faked the handoff and tried to take it himself, but no dice. 3rd and goal. Delivering the hit that time for Notre Dame. Trying to see who that was that got that hit for Notre Dame right there on 2nd down. Drake Bowen looks like delivering that hit. And Notre Dame has taken their last time out here in the first half. It'll be 3rd and goal, Texas A&M. As the clock now stopped at 1:14 in the second quarter. So it's 3rd and goal right at the 1 yard line. Notre Dame out of timeouts now. Texas A&M still has 1 in their pocket. Moss in the backfield along with Reed, the quarterback. Direct snap to Moss, who gets into the end zone for the Aggies touchdown. The 3rd down snap went right to Moss, and he took it that 1 yard for the touchdown, and the Aggies have their first lead of the game, 27-24. Notre Dame still has 1:11 on the clock to try to get something down the field. That's Moss's third rushing touchdown tonight in the first half. Extra point up and good, and Texas A&M has taken a 4-point lead over Notre Dame, 28-24, 1:11 remaining in the first half. So Moss, 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half for the Aggies. And for the first time tonight, they have the lead. So can Notre Dame do something to try to get some points before the half? Because Notre Dame will also get the ball to start the second half. So Notre Dame going to try to do a 2-for-1 here. And this will be a touchback. Notre Dame will get it at the 25-yard line. 1:11 to go in the first half and out of timeouts. So C.J. Carr and the Notre Dame offense back out onto the field. Carr to throw on first down. Nowhere to go. Now finds a receiver. Diving catch is made at the 30-yard line. Reception for Malachi Fields. There is a flag, however, so we'll check this flag out. Defensive holding is the call. So that will give Notre Dame a first down. First down, Notre Dame up at the 35. Will Lee the third, guilty of the defensive hold there. Card throws downfield. Open man at the 40-yard line. The catch is made. That's the tight end, Eli Raridan, with the reception and an Aggie player down on the field. Didn't catch who that was that the injured player was for Texas A&M. We have a stoppage with 58 seconds remaining in the second quarter. As Notre Dame, on 2 plays, it's marched it down to the Texas A&M side of the field. And Ohio State has just scored a touchdown, so they've got themselves a little bit of breathing room now against Ohio, 23-9. Buckeyes with 6:16 to go in the third. Purdue just got in the end zone. They're trying to make things interesting against USC. That's now 30-17 in the fourth quarter. LSU's kicked a field goal right before the half to go ahead of Florida at the half, 13-10. Vanderbilt up on South Carolina at the half, 14-7. So South Carolina coming in ranked number 11. We already had number 12, Clemson, go down today. Clemson was beaten on a 55-yard field goal at the gun by Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech off to a 3-0 start this year. Also had a win to open their season at Colorado. So Georgia Tech, a couple quality wins. Start off the season. And this is looking like a bit of a serious injury here, unfortunately, for Texas A&M. Has a whole bunch of medical personnel on the field. This is something you do not like to see. It just looked like a hard hit as the tight end Raridan was going down. So this is not looking good. A message on my live chat. Good to hear from you, Emily. I think you were with me at my prior game I was doing today, if I'm not mistaken. Nice to see you again. So this has been a 21-point second quarter for Texas A&M so far, as they're up 28-24. And all the Texas A&M players and coaches are getting together on the sideline and saying a prayer. So that's how you know this is not looking good, unfortunately, for the Texas. I'm still not sure who that is down for Texas A&M. They brought the medical cart out onto the field. Hate to see this. Even see some Notre Dame players on a knee praying as the stretcher is out onto the field. So we are stopped here for this injury with 58 seconds left in the second quarter. So another stoppage here as they are bringing the stretcher and the medical cart out. I've got the sound down for obvious reasons on the television, so that's why I'm still not sure who this is for Texas A&M. I'm sure they mentioned it on the broadcast, but yeah, I'm not sure who that is. So apologies. So we've been at a stoppage here for about 10 minutes because of this injury. Puts a damper on what has been an entertaining first half between these two teams. Scoring started not even 2 minutes into the game. A blocked punt returned for a touchdown for for Notre Dame, rather. That started the scoring as Notre Dame took the lead 7-0. Texas A&M immediately answered with an 86-yard touchdown pass from Reed to Craver. That tied it at 7. Then Notre Dame answered right back in the first quarter as Price with a 7-yard touchdown run. That made it 14-7 Notre Dame. That's where we stood after the first quarter. And then the second quarter, Notre Dame added to their lead with a Burnett 22-yard field goal. That made it 17-7. Just about 2.5 minutes later, Le'Veon Moss, a 1-yard touchdown run for Texas A&M to make it 17-14. Notre Dame, about 2.5 minutes later, answered with a Carr to Love 36-yard touchdown pass. That made it 24-14 Notre Dame. But back-to-back touchdowns for Texas A&M. Le'Veon Moss, a 2-yard touchdown run with 5.5 to go in the quarter that made it 24-21. And then Le'Veon Moss again for the third time in this first half ran it in from a yard out to make it 28-24 Texas A&M. And that's where we stand now with 58 seconds to go in the second quarter. So they're finally, I don't want to say finally because they have to be extremely careful when it looks like it could be a serious injury. You don't want to rush anything. They are getting the Texas A&M player onto the stretcher. And he's getting taken off the field. We'll try and figure out who that is. So a delay that pushed 15 minutes, I think. We're back to action here at the 40. First down, Notre Dame. This is Carr. Screen pass over the head of Love and incomplete off the hands of Love. It's probably just as well that that was incomplete because Love was going nowhere and he would have been tackled inbounds. And with Notre Dame being out of timeouts, that was going to take some more time off the clock. So that clock has stopped now with 53 seconds. And it'll be second down and 10. Second and 10 at the 40. Carr looking, throwing. He finds Love left side. Love brought down at the 35-yard line. Gain of 5, and the clock is running as he stayed in bounds. We're down to 40 seconds and counting. Third down and 5. Carr takes the snap. Carr in trouble and sacked. That was Damian Sanford on the sack for Texas A&M. It is fourth down and 13. The clock is running. We're down to 7 seconds, and the ball got snapped. When Carr had his head turned, Notre Dame falls on it, but that's going to be a turnover on downs. And with 5 seconds to go in the second quarter, where Notre Dame recovered that ball was in Notre Dame territory. So we may see what kind of an arm Marcel Reed has here, as Texas A&M is going to get the football at about the 48-yard line of Notre Dame. That ball got snapped and nobody was even looking for it. Carr was starting to walk away. Luckily for the Irish, Price was back there to cover it. Another mental error for Notre Dame. Now, unless there's a heroic play here, it's not going to really hurt them. As far as losing any points to Texas A&M here before the half, but that's still yeek. So first down, and this is just going to be a handoff. Thought Texas A&M might try to go downfield there, but they don't, and the first half will come to a close in South Bend. Actually, Texas A&M had one timeout, and Mike Elko's trying to say they called it with 1 second. As are the Texas A&M players. They may go to replay and check this. And they are putting time back on the clock. So they're going to bring on the Aggies, our Randy Bond, to try a 52-yard field goal. They put 2 seconds on the clock, but it doesn't really matter. This will be the final play of the first half. From 52 yards out, Bond, he hooked it left. No good. And that's how the first half comes to a close. 28-24. Texas A&M leading Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to get the football to start the second half. And a very entertaining first half between these two teams. A 28-24 lead for the Aggies over the Irish at the half. I'm going to briefly pause this live stream at halftime, but be back right before the second half. I want to update you on some scores right before we go to break. South Florida and Miami, that game's going final. South Florida could not pull off 3 in a row as Miami whipped them today, 49-12, or it's about to. That game's about to go final. USC 30, Purdue 17 in the fourth. Ohio State still leading Ohio 23-9. That game nearing the end of the third quarter. Illinois is now pulled away from Western Michigan. That game's 24-0 heading to the fourth. Number 17, Ole Miss now leads Arkansas 38-28. Game in the third quarter. LSU leads Florida at the half 13-10. Vanderbilt still leading number 11 South Carolina at the half 14-7. And that's about all the updated scores. Texas Tech has just gone final. Number 21 Texas Tech over Oregon State 45-14. Here it is 28-24, Texas A&M leading Notre Dame at the half. Going to briefly pause this live stream. We're going to be back with you in about 15 minutes just prior to the second half. Run down some first half stats, which had a lot of yardage in the first half. Run down some first half stats, get you ready for the second half. And run down an updated score update. Briefly going to pause, and I'll be back here in just about 15 minutes.